story very much of the last few weeks is this young woman here, Francine Niyonsaba from Burundi, who has taken this event by storm and given the likes of Hellen Obiri there and Sifan Hassan and the established 5,000-metre runners something to think about. She really has upset the apple cart in that regard. Women's 5,000 metres. 12.5 laps of the track. The pace through the first kilometre in 2:50. It's Michelle Finn, the Irish athlete, who will take them through that first kilometre, and then it'll be Van Buskirk, the Canadian, to pick up duties. And we're looking at around 68 seconds per lap. And if we think back to Paris just under a week ago, Tim, when we saw the way Niyonsaba found several gears, didn't she? Put under pressure in that 3,000 metres in the end by Tai with 200 to go, and just was able to kick away again. She really is building up a great body of work.
No, absolutely. Niyonsaba has been a revelation this year, an astonishing range. 155 through to that 5th place in the Olympic 10,000 metres. Niyonsaba, where I think she shocked a lot of people with her run of 30.41. I mean, Sifan Hassan has run 156 and of course broke the world record earlier on this summer with a sub 30-minute clocking for 10,000, although she only had the record for a couple of days. But that's a virtually world record pace, Chris. 68 per lap is 14:10 tempo, so this is being laid down as a pretty aggressive tempo to be maintained by one or two maybe. Niyonsaba, interestingly, at the front of the pack.
Yeah, and this is only her 4th ever 5,000-metre race, if you include the disqualification from the heats in Tokyo, which was a little bit controversial. Felt she was not supported at all by her national federation from Burundi. She was disqualified for a lane infringement, which means stepping off the track. Obiri there with that instantly recognisable rolling style, just tucking in behind Niyonsaba. But in these
very much on the upward trajectory.
Women's 5,000 metres into the 2nd kilometre. I can tell you they went through the first in 2:51, so just outside, almost perfect pacemaking there from Michelle Finn. Niyonsaba in the orange vest there, just tracking and being stalked by Hellen Obiri with Margaret Kipkemboi and then Eva Chirono. So Kenya slotting in behind Niyonsaba. There we can see the tall figure as well of Elish McColgan, just in the blue vest on the inside, still among the first 6. Elish McColgan, of course, the British record holder, beating Paula Radcliffe's long-standing record. There she is, looking pretty good. She's had a fine season, has Elish McColgan. Failed to meet the final, though, in Tokyo. She'll be disappointed with that, but came back to do well in the 10,000 metres. So Niyonsaba just clicking off these kilometres. Obiri perfectly placed where she likes to be, with a little bit of a target. Tai, well, there's an injection of pace here in the 2nd kilometre, because they've gone through 2K in 5:43, well inside the desired pace, and Van Buskirk there put a real spurt in on that 2nd kilometre. She's now departed, and so Francine Niyonsaba takes us towards the halfway mark of this race, and she's got plenty of experience behind her. Worth reiterating, this is only her 4th 5,000-metre race, her first full season as a distance runner, having taken silver in the 800 metres, remember, behind Caster Semenya in Rio 5 years ago. Not able to compete in her favourite event because of the DSD and testosterone regulation, so had a choice to make and decided to go up in distance. We saw how brilliant she was in the 3,000 metres in Paris last weekend, and here she is in the 5,000, and Hellen Obiri just stalking her there in 2nd place.
Yes, Obiri, I think, will be quite happy for Niyonsaba to take the tempo, and she just gestures then, Niyonsaba, to Obiri, as if to say, come on, are you going to take a turn? I've had enough of this. Don't think she was really pushing it along. They're bunching, in fact, behind Niyonsaba. I think she was saying to Obiri, look, you're the experienced athlete here. I think it's time you took a turn. And Obiri, somewhat to my surprise, Chris, I have to say, has obliged and moved to the fore, although I don't think she's injected any pace. That's a tightly packed little bunch of, what, some 10 athletes.
Yeah, maybe just slowed it down, but Obiri loves to do this, putting in a few surges, then slowing it down. So Obiri now with 6 laps to go. That's a 72-second lap, so they have slowed.
Fourth highest jumper in history.
Well, approaching 3 kilometres, and Obiri there, going through 3K in 8:42. So still pretty decent. There is Gruvdal, who's losing track with the leading group. So Obiri and Chirono, but Niyonsaba still very much there, looking very comfortable indeed. And it's Chebet, Patrice Chebet, former world junior champion at 18 years old, down in 4th place. So Kenya dominating, but Niyonsaba. And the longer this race goes on, you wonder whether the former 800-metre speed will come to be significant.
Well, that was a very slow 3rd kilometre, Chris, at 2:58. Indeed, the last 3 laps have been 71, 71 and 72, as you said, for all intents and purposes. So they haven't picked it up mid-race. It has slowed dramatically. There was talk of the pace being somewhere down around 14:10. Well, that's gone completely out the window, and we've got a pack of, what, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 athletes away, but they're almost stumbling over each other. Eilish McColgan at the back of the group had a great run in Lausanne last week. Her 2nd fastest ever 3,000 metres, still in good form, and is probably her best distance when you look at how strong she is over 3,000, how strong she is at 10,000. This is probably her sweet spot.
Well, looking very sweet for Niyonsaba, who's just gone to the front again. That 10 minutes of running on the clock. The next 4 minutes or so will be very, very significant indeed. So Niyonsaba now calling the tube. So approaching 4 kilometres, just over 1K to go, and the pace has slowed quite significantly. Niyonsaba now just hugging the inside there. Obiri on her shoulder. Eilish McColgan in that leading group. These 10 well clear of the rest of the field as they approach 4,000 metres, 4 kilometres. The longer this goes on, the more you would have to favour Niyonsaba. Let's not write off Obiri just yet, but 11:41, 2:59 for that latest kilometre. It has slowed. Obiri then on the shoulder. And he's got his own crowd supporting him too. Latter stages then of this women's 5,000 metres. All the big names are still in there. Niyonsaba, Obiri, Tai, and come into the home straight for the penultimate time. The Ethiopians in there, Eilish McColgan with that long, lolloping style, instantly recognisable. And it really has slowed. It was pretty breezy, wasn't it, for the first kilometre or so, into the home straight for the penultimate time. This is where all the jockeying for position will take place. Obiri there, nicely done, just where she wants to be, but she'll be well aware that the athlete on her shoulder, on the inside, Niyonsaba, is an 800-metre specialist as they hit the bell. Well, Klosterhalfen just beginning to struggle at the back here. She doesn't have the raw speed to match Obiri and some of these others. What can the big name that we're expecting to do so much here, Niyonsaba, do in this sort of situation, Chris? This has been an intensely tactical run. Well, Obiri there, lights out, stretching the field. Kemboy in 2nd place. The orange of Niyonsaba there, starting to perhaps feel the pace here, grimacing a little bit. Tai left the picture, the Ethiopian. These 4 well clear. Obiri with that rocking style. She's so tenacious. Wheel dig deep, has several gears. Kemboy, Tai, remember, who puts Niyonsaba under pressure in Paris over the shorter distance into the home straight. Obiri, these 4 well clear. Now then, look at Niyonsaba coming wide. Tai makes a break. Obiri, has she gone? I think she has. Now comes here Niyonsaba. Niyonsaba from lane 2 coming through, timing her run to perfection. Oh my word! 14:25 the winning time. She continues to impress, you know, over the longer distances, and she has beaten Helen Obiri, the 2-time world champion, over this distance, and further evidence that Francine Niyonsaba is a force to be reckoned with. Once again, she breaks the national record. She's been doing that pretty much every time she steps out on the track. It looked as though perhaps she was struggling down the back straight with, what, 2:50 to go. She collected herself, composed herself, and found another gear, and she comes home ahead of Tai and Obiri in 3rd. Boy, oh boy, the 4th fastest time in the world this year, and there's plenty more in the tank, I think, from Niyonsaba. It was a slowish, tactical race, and yet the 28-year-old there with this extraordinary range.
having won in Paris last week so impressively, becoming the 5th fastest in history at 3,000 metres with 8:19.08. Wins again here and makes the point. What might she have done in the 5,000 metres in Tokyo? Remember, she was 5th in the 10,000, but I suspect the 5,000, this distance tonight, is her favoured distance now that she is a distance runner, not a lower range middle distance runner. The transition in the space of less than 2 years has been quite astonishing.
And you just wonder whether Caster Semenya somewhere, maybe in South Africa, watching on here. Remember, also a former 800-metre runner, not able to compete at that distance, looking on with, I'm sure, some envy as she sees the newly reinvented Francine Niyonsaba starting to really upset the world order in the 5,000 metres. I agree, Tim. I think 5,000 is her preferred distance, and this will provide further evidence of what might have been in Tokyo. She was disqualified, as we mentioned, in the heats, didn't make the final in the 5,000. And look at that, just sail past, and all that built-up 800-metre speed coming to the fore in the final stages of that race. Niyonsaba, in only her 5th race over this distance, coming through. Very, very impressive indeed in a new national record.
Well, her lap up to 200 to go, Chris, was 59.7. So I suspect her last 600 was under 90 seconds. I mean, that